Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103gbfrocks.com. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Please welcome the Long Island Ice Z, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Good morning. I am in a terrible studio today with something you need in every on-air studio. A squeaky-ass chair.
When that chair is a squeaking, don't come... Well, I can't find anything. Don't come peeking. Exactly. Yeah, how's it going, pal?
Well, happy belated Thanksgiving to you, my friend. Did you have a good holiday?
Yeah, it was nice. I took the week off, obviously, and glad to be back. There's a lot to recap, I feel like, from the week. I can't believe that when I was on vacation, War Games happened. I mean, like, it's been so... That feels like a month ago to me.
It was so long ago. I want to say the obligatory Thanksgiving thing that I'm very thankful for you, because I am much so.
I'm more thankful for you. You have no idea.
I love you so much, and I'm so happy that we get to do this all the time, to the point where I know you do it for your work, and I don't do it for mine. I do it for yours, but it doesn't feel like work. This is fun, and I missed it when you were gone. It's
too buzz to get to talk about wrestling, and it's opened up to a whole group of people who all like to talk about wrestling, and that's cool. So
we'll go in chronological order, but just to recap quickly, like just look at an outline of what we're going to try to cover today. We have War Games, we have Survivor Series, we have Raw, we have a SmackDown, we have Starrcade.
Man, we're going to be here all day.
We're going to be here all day. And we have Enzo Amore crash in Survivor Series.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? Would you say chronologically?
Well, let's do chronologically, and we can touch on War Games. Holy cow, pal. They did it again.
I love their shows. Their takeover shows are so good.
I love it. And I think that the reason they're so good, and the WWE can't really do anything about it on the main roster, it's because they have so few pay-per-views. So their angles are able to build slowly over time. And so everything matters.
No, I have my own theory
in every game.
I have my own theory about this. Do you really think that's what it is? Because I don't
think that they do 6 pay-per-views a year and they bring it every single time.
I think the reason the match quality is so far higher, takeover after takeover after takeover, than what we're seeing on the main roster is that I think, this is just a theory I have, but so these guys, they're at the Performance Center all the time, whereas the main roster is traveling, and their job essentially is to train and get better and get ready for the main roster. So I think, for lack of a better term, they have like 2 months to rehearse, for lack of a better term, with their partner, to put their match together, to run through it a couple of times off the air, to work out the kinks, to make it exciting. And I feel like they've got 2 months to perfect things, and then they bring it, and they're much more used to it now.
They're not working with a road agent over lunch.
Yeah, right, exactly. And they're not doing it night after night after night. They're just, they do 1 hour of TV a week. And then
that's another thing that the main roster suffers from, is a lot of these matches that are on pay-per-view, we've seen on television 3 or 4 times before we see them on pay-per-view.
Correct. Yeah, they really lack an excitement on the main roster side because of how unspecial the pay-per-views are and how limited they are. I don't want to say that the main roster is limited, because if you combine them into one roster, it'd be fine. It'd be great. But when you
Were you hearing the rumors about NXT being involved in a draft?
I heard that there might be some call-ups happening, but I heard that was supposed to be last week.
I'm hearing call-ups and call-downs now. I'm hearing that they're going to make NXT a brand so that like they could put the big show on NXT if they wanted.
Well, I feel like it already is.
I'd be okay with that, and it might make things a little easier for some of these guys to come, and women to come into the WWE main roster and not get buried immediately.
Potentially. Yeah. I don't know about, there's definitely an advantage to bringing guys down, because getting people used to working with guys who have been on the main roster is probably better than having them work with people who haven't been yet.
Do you love Velveteen Dream? I remember somebody close to me hates him, but that's not you, is it?
It's definitely not me.
I think he's amazing.
I feel like it might be Mike, but I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Okay. Somebody we know doesn't like Velveteen Dream, and I can't for the life of me figure out why.
His matches, I mean, how do I want to word this? His ability in the ring is but his character and his presentation is very WWE.
It's perfect. He's very flamboyant, and he's very good. He's just very good, and he's athletic enough to do a good match. His match with Ciampa was a great match. That
was, I actually thought, the low point of the pay-per-view, but still a good match.
It's a good match, though. I really, 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 really liked it. And I love Shayna Baszler. Holy cow, that was a great match.
She did a great job. War Games was great. What was my favorite match? What was the what came before Velveteen Dream? It was
a year ago. I can't remember, but I know the War Games was my favorite match.
And it wasn't the it also
was it the Gargano match?
Gargano fought Black, right?
Yes.
Maybe that was it. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good. Although I also feel like that brand is relying a lot on super kicks and knees to faces.
Super kick party, pal.
Yeah, it's starting to look a little independent. I mean, if you took a shot every time there's a super kick or a knee to the face, you're going to be out on your butt, pal.
You're going to be done. You only need one or two finishes. Like I don't need a high spot every 2 seconds in a match, but I'm okay. I was okay with it in that match.
Yeah, it was very good.
Then Survivor Series takes place, and I'll say this: I felt a couple times during Survivor Series that they were taking a cue from NXT, and they were like, "Let's just let these dudes go, let them go." That Buddy Murphy match, they just let those two go. That was a great match. And then I thought Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura was really surprisingly great.
Yeah, that was good. I'm trying to think what my favorite match from Survivor Series was, and boy, that may have been it. I don't remember. Man, it does feel like a year ago.
My favorite match, I think, was probably Charlotte Ronda Rousey.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That I gotta tell you, I think that legitimately the best angles on the show right now on TV really are women's angles.
And they're taking advantage of it. They've got Nia Jax coming out, blowing on her hand, calling it the face breaker.
That's smart. That's the way they should handle it.
That's how they're handling it.
Although she should be embarrassed.
Backstage, she should be embarrassed.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, after Starrcade, she should really be embarrassed. We'll get to that, pal.
I haven't seen Starrcade yet. You want to save it?
Well, I can save it. And it's just embarrassing. And Starrcade itself, man, you don't need to see it. You don't need to see it.
You know what's funny is when I was watching Survivor Series, I kept going back to this one quote of yours that you said on our predictions episode.
Okay.
At the beginning of the predictions episode, you were like, I really want to give every victory to Raw, but I know that won't happen.
Yeah.
And that's what wound up happening.
I crumpled up my paper. I was like, that isn't going to happen. Throw it away. Let's do some math.
And I did.
I changed all my answers, and I didn't win, of course.
Well, you won the Lock of Destiny, though.
Did I?
I think you did.
Well, good. Great. That one didn't register with me because it was like I was so distracted with the fact that they kept calling it a clean sweep, and I was like, but the tag team, and then they had Corey Graves mentioned, but the tag division won, and then Raw just kept winning all of them.
So you don't know the story. You don't know the story behind that, do you? Apparently, there was some miscommunication, and Raw was supposed to win that tag match too.
That's why they're ignoring it.
Yeah.
But they're letting New Day make an angle out of it.
Yeah, now in retrospect they are. But my understanding is that I don't know how you can screw up who's supposed to win a match, even if it is on the pre-show of a pay-per-view. My goodness, how does that even happen?
Isn't there a meaning where they say Raw goes over in all the matches? That's how we're writing this.
I don't know if there's like a meeting or whatever, but I would feel like every guy in their match knows who's going to win.
Nobody went into business for themselves, did they?
No, I think it just got screwed up. I don't remember. I don't know the whole story.
You know what, though? Saying that my favorite match was Charlotte, that was my favorite moment. My favorite match. I love Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar. Did you?
Yeah, I do. I like Brock. I like Daniel. I like that they gave Daniel a fighting chance. I liked how they booked him like an underdog. It just worked for me.
The whole thing worked. It was one of the best matches. You know, Brock Lesnar's had 2 really great matches 2 years in a row, and it's against AJ Styles at Survivor Series and Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series. It's the Survivor Series match. I don't know if it's because it's a non-title match that Brock gives a little more, or they just book him differently. I know heel will play ball. He would do the job. It's Vince that doesn't want him to do the jobs. I get that.
It's smart. I sometimes feel like I'm the only one who's getting the way they're booking him.
I get it. He didn't need to tap to Daniel Bryan, but I believed for a second that he was going to. And that makes a good match for me.
Yeah, right. And but I've been singing this tune since WrestleMania. You know, everyone was so pissed when Brock won. And I'm just like, man, I just feel like everyone's not following what's happening. Guys who are usually clued in with the, you know, why booking is good, bad, and different. I'm just like, man, this is exactly what we want. And then when Reigns gets it, it's just going to be even bigger. And then he's going to get leukemia, and Dean Ambrose is going to make fun of it on Raw.
I mean, let's get to Raw. First, I'll say that I gave Survivor Series a B- ish, but we never recorded it. And as the week went on, and Raw and SmackDown collectively made nothing on Survivor Series matter, I knocked it down to like a C- or a D. Because all of the stipulations, everything that had a stipulation was ignored. It was ignored on Monday night, which pissed me off like crazy. And then Tuesday, they never mentioned the sweep and the stuff with Shane McMahon. It's like, oh my God.
I feel like, boy, I didn't even think about a letter grade. I don't even know why I didn't.
Going into Survivor Series, if Braun Strowman wins, he gets a match with Baron Corbin and a title shot at Brock Lesnar, and now he's got at the Rumble. If he wins at Survivor Series, and then he wins at Survivor Series, and they say, okay, well, Baron Corbin gets to be GM. But no, instead they changed it at the last second. They were like, nah, I know that was the stipulation, but now you've got to beat Baron Corbin to get the shot at Brock Lesnar, and Baron Corbin, you've got to beat Braun Strowman to be the general manager. All those stipulations didn't matter.
Okay,
it was like Enzo Amore crashing Survivor Series. Nobody cared.
Boy, you know what? That's a really good way to sum it up, because while it is fun to follow, it's a fun story to me. You're right. He made no impact with, I mean, the smart marks like us all, I'm sure, are aware of it. If you're not aware, you probably couldn't notice anything on television.
I didn't notice it at all. And then I went back and watched it, and you can barely hear it and see it.
Enzo Amore got himself a ticket to Survivor Series, and I guess tried to cause a scene and accidentally hurt some poor woman who was sitting by him, and had to get
the security cranked him down pretty hard.
Yeah, but I mean, it was probably deserved. I feel like if he was there because he bought a ticket, that's cool. But I guess when he's making a scene, you know, you can't have that.
He's standing on a chair. He ripped off his disguise because he was disguised. He ripped it off, and he was standing on a chair screaming, starting a chant. And my favorite was they started to get a chant for him. We want Enzo. And then the rest of the place started chanting, no, we don't.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I kind of was trying to understand what was going on there, and I don't think I realized that at the time.
It was happening during the bar match.
All I could hear was, no, we don't. I couldn't tell what the first part was.
Yeah.
So, okay. And see, here's the other thing that's really stupid. This is really, really dumb, because I predicted after Enzo got released that in about a year or two, he would probably be back.
But now he's pissing them off.
Well, that's the thing. It's like now, while you never say never with Vince and with wrestling and stuff like that, like he's really shooting himself in the foot. This is really stupid.
Because this wasn't a work.
No, it's not. Then I saw the next day there was someone posted on Twitter. All the security guards had a printed out picture of Enzo with his name Eric Arndt on the top, as in do not let this guy in, because it's the same venue.
Yeah, don't let him in.
And yeah, so now I can't. This totally invalidates my prediction from earlier in the year about Enzo being welcomed back at some point because he was found. The charges got dismissed.
Yeah, but I give you a pass because you're not in control of him doing stupid things.
He really seems very hateable to me. Like, he just seems like a heat magnet.
He's perfect for pro wrestling.
Right.
He couldn't make it work. He's really perfect for it.
And I'll also say, I wish he was still here. I loved his promos, and I miss him.
I think he'd be funny with Buddy Murphy.
There's just so much he was capable of outside of the ring that they were really utilizing him for. And then, plus, like I said, it's important that we mention, because we certainly talked a lot about the allegations. Charges got dismissed, and it doesn't even seem like, to me, like they got dismissed because, of a technicality. It seemed like the woman may have been a little off her rocker.
Yeah, it seemed like she was lying. What it seemed like. We
don't know anything, but that's just the vibe I've taken from it.
And I brought up Buddy Murphy, so I want to get this random thought out there so everyone hears it, right or wrong. I really like how they're booking Buddy Murphy for his matches, and I love how he's cutting weight. They make a big focus on him cutting weight and making weight to get under 205 so he can fight at 205 Live. They're making it so whenever he doesn't want to make weight anymore, he can move up to not 205 Live because they see real potential in this son of a gun. This guy's amazing.
He's great. Absolutely. I agree.
Great.
So what else?
Now we're to SmackDown.
Okay. Is there anything else from Raw we need to talk about? I can't think of anything to...
Ronda Rousey's doing a great job.
Yeah, dude, I really do think so. I mean, her facials are still, she's got two kind of moves, but I'm so happy she's here. I'm proud of the work she's doing. I'm happy to see her. The women's division in general right now is on fire.
Fire. I can't wait till they at some point they're going to want her to be heel maybe. And if they do, enter Shayna Baszler. I love her too, man. They're going to be for real.
You think Ronda's got a heel turn coming?
Not soon, but like in a year.
Maybe.
I never would have guessed the Daniel Bryan heel turn, pal. I don't know. I can't guess it anymore.
Boy, it's still hard. I mean, like, I know he's a heel. I know that's the way they're booking him. But I mean, like, he was a face when he won the title up until the last 1 minute of SmackDown. And then he was a face against Brock at Survivor Series. I mean, not booked as a face, really, but Brock was not the face. Daniel was.
But notice when Daniel comes into the ring, he didn't do the yes chant.
Nope. I understand that. That's why they're booking him as a heel. But, to call him one is a little bit thin to me. You're not wrong.
I actually find it more likable like this.
Yeah,
not pandering to the masses. The masses are asses.
I remember SmackDown being a better show. I'm trying to think of why I felt that way.
I actually like The Miz kissing Shane McMahon's butt and wanting to form a tag team with him and then losing to the Byron brothers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. The two jobber guys.
Yes.
I didn't write their names down, so thank you for remembering. But yeah. And then you have, Charlotte moving things forward with Becky a little bit. And just Raw and I liked Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton at the end there too.
Yeah, ripping the mask off, pal. That's a heel move in every country.
It doesn't matter what language you speak. It's a heel move to rip off somebody's mask.
It is a heel move. That is, I mean, which would you rather have, Rob? Would you rather have someone stick their finger through your ear hole, which clearly fits a soda can, or rip your mask off that you've wrestled without before?
I definitely would take the mask. I still can't think about that ear thing.
I found a funny meme. I need to share it on our page. It's a game, and there are pictures. And is it people like Jeff Hardy that with their ear flap without the ring in it, or is it an onion ring?
Yeah,
they all look the same.
I've seen that one. You also sent me. I believe it was you sent me. Is this Amy Schumer or a potato? Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Is that you that sent that to me?
Yeah, I think I sent that to you. I also like is it a Chihuahua or a chocolate chip cookie?
Anyway, tell me about Starrcade, because you said you saw it, but I haven't seen it yet.
So I went back after I tried to watch it. Maybe it was too late for me. I don't know what it was. I tried to watch it, and I didn't enjoy it at all. It's
only an hour, right?
So, yeah, calling it Starrcade is kind of insulting because it's not Starrcade. Starrcade was the biggest. It was like the WrestleMania of WCW, and this is a house show.
Well, you're right, but calling it the WrestleMania of WCW is like calling the current Starrcade the former Starrcade. I
understand this, but this is a house show. In fact, they even have WWE Live. It's a WWE Live event. Is all it is. It's not even marketed to be a special event. They didn't have. It was like they were filming a house show. The camera work wasn't great. The quality's not awesome. It starts with Elias. Now they bring out Ric Flair right away, and that's kind of cool. And then they're interrupted by Nia Jax and Tamina and Alicia Fox and Mickie James, and they come out and they want to sing a song. And then you've got Nia Jax singing, and it's embarrassing and terrible. And then Elias brings out his 4 girlfriends, and then we've got a good team and a bad team, and they wrestle, and that's 24 minutes.
So that's half the show.
Almost half of what they're going to televise. And there was bad editing because you could tell they were cutting stuff and editing stuff. They go from that to a Samoa Joe promo, which was good, to the Miz TV, to another segment. Now it's another in the ring segment, and you've got Miz TV, and he brings out Ray and Shinsuke Nakamura, and then there's a fight, and then there's a match, and that's kind of okay. And I never even made it to AJ Styles and Samoa Joe in a cage. They have Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in a cage that they're not going to show us. They have Bray Wyatt on Starrcade. He wrestled at Starrcade, but they didn't mention that, or they're not going to show that either. There's a lot of interesting stuff that they didn't show. And they decided to show me 30 minutes of Nia Jax, and I'm kind of pissed about it.
Well, I get why they're doing it this way. Like, they got Ambrose and Rollins at TLC without a stip right now. I mean, wouldn't you rather see the Starrcade match?
I don't want to see the Starrcade match. You're right. I didn't need to see it. I didn't need to see any of it. I felt the same way I did after watching Dean Ambrose's Chronicle. I've been worked for an hour.
I thought that was so boring.
Boring. It was boring. It could have been 30 minutes. Now, conversely, the AJ Styles 365.
That was fine.
That's worth watching, man.
Yeah, my favorite part was him buying the Jaguar.
I don't remember the Jaguar.
Oh, I remember the Jaguar. I didn't have one, but I remember it. And then after I watched that, I noticed that he was on Up, Up, Down, Down with Xavier Woods. And they spend like 10 minutes in this retro video game store, and it's pure delight for video game fans like me. And I assume I know you played retro games, and Steve and Mike, and a lot of those guys are into it. So you might enjoy
I didn't know he was a big gamer like that.
Me neither.
It makes sense that when he came to Evansville, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to a place.
He showed up at a place.
Yeah, an arcade that sells old video games and stuff. So yeah. All right, man. I think we did a pretty good recap of everything that happened while we were gone. It feels like a year ago, but you're right.
It was a long time ago. So tonight we'll watch Raw. We're off tomorrow because you have a thing, right?
Yeah, I actually have a thing tomorrow for the show. And then Wednesday, I've got an appointment I need to do. So let's do Thursday if you can.
Okay, good. So Thursday we'll do a recap of Raw and SmackDown. And then at some point, I know December, we break off pretty early. So we'll have to do the posties at some point. We'll have to schedule the posties.
Yeah, we'll look at our schedules because I still have a lot of time off. I'm sure you have time off, and we will figure things out. Like I told you last week, it's going to be a spotty rest of the year, but when we're back, we'll be back.
I'm good all December. It's January. I'm off a lot. I'm off a lot in January.
Well, I'm off the first week and you're off the second week, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out though. And when we get back to full strength, you'll know it. And we're going to get back to our routine. This is not, I apologize, but it's holiday stuff. You guys know how it is.
It's how it is, man. We need some time off. We're not the WWE. We're not working 300 days a year. Actually, I'm working 320 days a year. To quote
that very memorable WWE promo from 1994 when baseball went on strike, our season never ends.
No.
Radio
Especially when you're
season.
the Macho Man Randy Savage.
All right, Jerry, anything else you want to throw in before we take off till Thursday?
Sounds good. It was a clean sweep. I feel like we did a clean sweep this time.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like I said, tune in again on Thursday for an episode where we recap this week in wrestling. That's going to be this Thursday here on Post to Post. Thanks, Jer.
Byron Brothers, we speak your name.
We speak your name, Byron Brothers.